What's going down? Thor, Basin Boy Banner, back with Kyle Olson, Knockdown Entertainment. We are doing a Wrestlemania, NXT Takeover, New Japan, Ring of Honor, G1 Supercard, Ultimate WrestleMania predictions preview video today.
Yep, of all the big three shows of the weekend.
Yeah, I mean there's 25 shows. There's at least 30 wrestling shows that weekend. We can't cover them all. We're only two men, and we both have jobs, quote unquote. So we're gonna just take the big three for you.
Yep. So, yeah, there's some other stuff like Joey Janela's Spring Break and a few other shows that are worth going out of your way to like look up and be like, oh, that would be fun. But these are the heavy hitters. These
are the main ones. So Kyle, this is your first time joining me. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah.
I met Kyle through. I mean, anyone who watches our channel knows I do a lot of the work with the Sabre Legion. That's kind of how me and you met.
Yep. I was doing highlight videos and stuff. I'm a photographer and videographer normally, and do a podcast on occasion, which is how I have to say it at this point because we don't do it that regularly.
Hey, do a podcast.
But I do, yeah. But yeah, I was doing highlight videos for the Sabre Legion, and then you were doing commentary and all that stuff. So.
Well, there's a big inner cross between those two jobs. Realistically, the video person and the person talking on the videos has some crossover.
Yeah, we have to actually know what the other's doing sometimes.
Right. And there are times where it's good to have someone that like, I'm talking about this and I'm shooting this, and they need to match up. So that's how we kind of met. But then you're real big in the Minnesota indie scene.
Yep, I work a lot with a bunch of local independent wrestling promotions, most notably First Wrestling that runs 2 shows a year at First Ave called WrestlePalooza, which are great. It's a combo of wrestling, burlesque, and live music, so it's a lot of fun. I got hooked up with that by my buddy Darren Corbin, who I've known for way too long than either of us like to admit. And I do mostly video work and photography for those shows. So
yeah, check out his stuff online. He's got a book on sale right now. Yep. This guy's awesome. Check out his stuff. Throw him some likes, some shares, some comments. This is a great dude. I appreciate you joining me.
Yeah.
We're gonna maybe have some more wrestling stuff coming down the pipeline. But this is the WrestleMania weekend extravaganza predictions video. Like I said, we're gonna start with the G1 Supercard. We got New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor come together to put on shows. They do it a couple times a year, or just once a year?
A couple times a year. Like they'll New Japan comes over here for what they call the Global Wars tour, which they usually do kind of in the summer, and then February Ring of Honor will go over to Japan for a couple shows called Honor Rising.
Oh right, that was just recently.
They just recently did. Which are always a lot of fun because you get a sort of different feel when like the New Japan guys come over here or the Ring of Honor crew goes over there, which it's a subtle little thing because if you've watched New Japan videos, and I'm wondering what they're going to do for the Supercard actually, because New Japan has just the single turnbuckle, like the long one.
Yep.
And then like Ring of Honor has your regular
standard
three.
Yep.
And it's like I'm wondering what
at Honor Rising they did the 3.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with the 3.
Yep.
I would assume, but that's just my assumption.
Yeah.
So now the G1 Supercard is taking place on Saturday, April the 6th.
Yep. Saturday, April
at
6th.
Madison Square Garden. So this is, I mean, you cannot get any more competitive with WWE than doing a show at NMSG on WrestleMania weekend. And they got a pretty stacked card.
Yeah, pretty stacked card. It's sold out in like an hour.
Yeah,
I
quick.
think. Like it might have been, even faster. Not as fast as All In or Double or Nothing, but it was.
But those are what, 5,000? I mean, those aren't even 10,000 seat venues.
Yep.
This is Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, which is 18, I think.
Rappers brag about selling out the Garden in a day. So, big props to New Japan and Ring of Honor. So let's break this card down because it is stacked. 11
so stacked.
11 matches. You got a couple of champion for champion matches. So
Yep.
someone's going to come out of here wearing so much gold. They're going to look like a rapper.
Yep.
But we got the Honor Rumble. That's going to be the pre-show.
Yep, Honor Rumble. No participants are announced yet, but basically anyone who's in town,
all your favorite indie stars who aren't announced for this card and are in town will be wrestling.
Yeah, all your Ring of Honor stars, like a Silas Young, a Beer City Bruiser, who aren't on the regular card. My prediction for that. Just because it is, I believe, his first time wrestling at Madison Square Garden is Jushin Thunder Liger.
Let us know in the comments too if that's accurate, because I think you're right. So Jushin Thunder Liger, that'd be great to see him, because he announced his retirement tour. Yep. He's gonna retire next year, right?
Yeah, because he has wrestled in Barclays because he did the takeover against Tyler Breeze.
That was great.
Which was a great match.
Awesome match.
Because he's Jushin Thunder Liger and he
Poor
can
Tyler
work
Breeze.
with anybody. Yeah.
Poor Tyler Breeze. But that Rumble, I'm not even going to predict who. I'm not a big Ring of Honor guy. I'm New Japan. I'm WWE, NXT all the way. But Ring of Honor, that's one of the ones that just, that's on my a la carte menu that I don't, buy from. Yep. And so I don't have a dog in this race. So I'll say Wrestler X.
Because, and it's so hard to predict since you don't know who the participants are too. So
Raven, there you go. Is he wrestling?
It's not out of the realm of possibilities.
Tommy Dreamer?
Dreamer, I think that is going on at about the same time as MLW's Battle Riot. So
never mind.
He might be busy on that show.
All right, now some wrestlers I am familiar with. Yeah. Will Ospreay, the Never Openweight Championship, versus Jeff Cobb, the Ring of Honor TV champion. I have seen both these guys wrestle because Jeff Cobb was over at the Honor Rising.
Yep, Jeff Cobb was over at
Honor
Rising.
That was my exposure to him. I am very excited for this match.
So Wrestle Kingdom this past year, everybody joked that the first match of the show was going to be the best match on the show because the first match of the show was Will Ospreay versus Kota Ibushi.
And it arguably it was
really good.
It was so good.
This is in that same boat because Jeff Cobb is fantastic.
Now,
Will Ospreay was my Wrestler of the Year last year.
Will I be able to get this on New Japan World?
Yes, I checked. There's not an asterisk. Because usually, like when they did the Access TV stuff, there'd be an asterisk of like only available in some regions. I did not see that asterisk, so I believe it is actually airing live.
See, that's why I'm glad I have New Japan World now.
Yep.
So Will Ospreay versus Jeff Cobb. It's belt for belt though, right? The winner takes
belt for belt,
both
which
belts.
is the interesting thing because Ospreay doesn't do that many Ring of Honor dates.
No.
But he, things could change. He's very much a company man.
He's got big plans he's got big plans over in New Japan.
Yes.
And I would love to see him go versus Naito for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yes. I could see that.
I could see him dropping the Never Openweight just for now to Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
In lieu of him getting a push towards maybe that IC title with Naito. So I'm actually going to take Jeff Cobb in this one.
I've got Ospreay, but like either way, like it either means Ospreay is going to do more Ring of Honor dates or Jeff Cobb is possibly going to do more New Japan dates, which either situation I'm fine with.
Win-win.
Like, yeah.
Double win.
Jeff Cobb is one of the nicest men I've met through wrestling. Because he was actually in about a year ago, before he started doing Ring of Honor and New Japan stuff, for a promotion called Showtime Championship Wrestling in town.
Okay.
And got to meet him because he did a seminar beforehand. One of the nicest guys. Like, he's a super laid-back Hawaiian dude. He's great.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. All right, now these are the two that I'm probably the least familiar with. Yes. Well, the next two matches are probably the ones I'm the least familiar with. Dalton Castle versus Rush.
Roosh.
No, it says Rush.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Roosh. Okay, so tell me everything you know about this match, and then I'll just randomly pick somebody.
Okay, so Dalton Castle, former Ring of Honor champion, and very much he is the party peacock. He comes out with the boys, who are two like masked like servants almost. It's weird, but it's fun. And Roosh is a Mexican brawler. Basically, he has been feuding for years with L.A. Park, the former La Parka from WCW, and yeah, he's a big like Mexican brawler or type. Worked with CMLL, who kind of have a partnership with New Japan and Ring of Honor. So yeah, my prediction is Roosh because he just at the last Ring of Honor show beat Bandido.
Okay.
So it's like if they're gonna have him beat Bandido, I think you're gonna also have him beat Dalton Castle.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna agree with that. I'm gonna agree with that analysis and pick him too because I have no idea.
It's gonna be fun because Dalton Castle is like really fun in like brawling situations, since he doesn't do it that often because it's more of a comedy character.
Okay,
but like he can actually wrestle. He's a
former
like Greco-Roman like wrestler, so he can throw some stuff around.
So next up, we got the Women of Honor champion.
Yep.
So we got Kelly Klein versus Mayu
Iwatani.
That's what I thought I was going to say.
And this is Women of Honor has been fine, but like there's so much good like women's wrestling out there that it feels like they need to step up. They need to step their game up a little bit.
That's what I was just okay.
It's like I know she's injured, but the fact that you have like Tenille Dashwood, the former Emma from NXT, just sitting there and like
underused in every company she goes to.
Yeah. The big problem with her is she got injured like when she signed with Ring of Honor, so it was like okay. So I think the winner of this, I'm predicting Mayu Iwatani because she also works for a promotion called Stardom.
Yeah,
and you could have her kind of take the Women of Honor championship over to Stardom for a little bit.
It would help give a little bit of prestige to the title. I that sounds like it makes sense to me.
Yep.
Let's go. How you say her last name?
Iwatani.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. So now we got Bully Ray versus mystery opponent in a New York street fight.
It's
an open challenge. So it's an open challenge for a New York street fight. Bully Ray put out, and he does not have an opponent as of yet.
He does not have an opponent. Do you have any idea who do you think the opponent might be, or?
Nope.
Okay. So my prediction, because I believe he is healthy and medically cleared now, would actually be Flip Gordon.
Oh, that's so okay.
And if it is Flip definitely needs to win this. I love, and we'll see later on in the card, Bully Ray on Ring of Honor TV keeps cutting these promos about how he's the only person on the Ring of Honor roster who has ever wrestled at Madison Square Garden, which is a flat out lie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a guy who did it like a decade before him.
Yeah.
And also PJ Black, who was Justin Gabriel, who also wrestled at Madison Square Garden. But it's Bully Ray. He's a prick heel, so he needs to say stuff like that. But yeah, definitely PCO wrestled there a decade before Bully Ray did. But yeah, if it's Flip Gordon, I can see that. I see Flip winning this.
I didn't know he was clear. That makes a lot of sense.
I believe he's cleared
because they want it to be like a surprise comeback. Mm-hmm. You want that. That's what you kind of set that spot up for.
Yeah.
Although if I was coming back from injury, I don't know that I want to go in a New York street fight right away. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah, I can't remember what his injury was.
Okay, so the severity
that's part
of
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Because like if it was like a shoulder injury or something, like you just avoid that.
Now we kind of get into the meat of the card.
This is the meat of the card.
This is the meatier part of it. Ishimori versus Dragon Lee versus Bandido for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship belt. Ishimori is the champ, and I don't see Bone Crusher losing to Dragon Lee or Bandido.
Nope. I see kind of... ideally, it would be Taiji Ishimori beating Dragon Lee because he has beat Dragon Lee a lot. And that would set up maybe Bandido going over in May or June to do Best of Super Juniors, which
Okay.
I'd be all for.
Yeah.
Because I think they wanted to have, I think they wanted to have Pac come in to do Best of Super Juniors, but now with the AEW stuff, I don't think.
Well, but
that's possible.
Who knows? Because after something we didn't talk about going into this is the last, I think, official deal these two companies have together.
Yeah,
and New Japan can work with whoever they want after this card. So this could be like your last, which it really couldn't, because some of these are you're gonna have champions wearing the belts. So
and I think that was Ring of Honor's smart decision of like, no, we're gonna put these belts together.
But you can find ways around that. But I'm just saying that's an interesting twist to this. But I think we both have Ishimori. He's been just killing it.
Yeah,
Bone Soldier is just, I mean, he's a dominant just specimen.
Yeah, he's so good. Like he's been so good for so long, but he was always working for secondary promotions or in like the second, like, I mean, he was kind of the number 3 or 4 person in the like Pro Wrestling Noah big junior stable, like, but when you're second and third behind Kenta and Naomichi Marufuji, who's also, like, if you haven't seen Marufuji wrestle, he's fantastic.
It's a tough spot. That's a tough spot.
Yeah,
to be
it's
in.
like, oh, you're not as good as Kenta and Marufuji. Yeah, nobody is.
So you think Kenta's going to go back to Noah now that he's released?
So yes.
You don't think he's going to go AEW route? I don't think so either. I think he's going to go back to Japan.
he's either going to go back to Pro Wrestling Noah, or possibly back to, or not back to, but to New Japan.
That would be awesome. I love seeing him in New Japan, but they need some more like New Japan guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That aren't like, because there's everyone's got a faction though. You know what I'm saying?
That's because the thing with Kenta is a little behind the scenes, like, and this is pretty well known. One of his best friends is Katsuyori Shibata, who is now running the New Japan Dojo and in LA, and had that amazing match with Okada where his career possibly ended with the headbutt and the seizure afterwards. So scary situation, but like
that was a cool moment after Okada won the New Japan Cup too, where he went up to Shibata, who was sitting there at the commentary, and they had that moment. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, because like Okada, and it was and Okada mentioned actually after that Shibata won the New Japan Cup the year before. Yeah. And that's what got him that title shot, which was his last match.
Jeez.
So
crazy. All right. So the next match, going back to the Supercard, we got the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champs versus the New Japan Tag Team Champs versus two other, it's a fatal 4-way.
Yeah, it's a fatal 4-way.
We got Evil and Sonata. You got God, who are the New Japan Tag Team Champs, Villain Enterprise, who's the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champs, and the Briscoes.
Yep.
This is going to be bananas.
This is going to be insane. Like, I'm kind of surprised they did the New York Street fight earlier, because this feels like,
I think that's going to be underwhelming, though.
Yeah.
I can see that being underwhelming.
But it's like, this feels like this is the like street fight type thing.
Yeah,
like,
this is going to be a car wreck.
Yeah, especially with 4 teams that are just crazy.
I love all 4 of these teams. It's hard because the winner is going to win all the belts.
Yes,
all the belts.
Which like I'm hoping that it's PCO and Brody King that win, just because I want to see them do a New Japan tour, because that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
But like you can literally justify any of these teams winning.
Yeah.
Because like
I could see Evil and Sonata. I could see the Briscoes. I could God.
Yeah, God keeping it. I mean, their gimmick basically at this point is the fact that they are the tag team,
the OG Bullet Club.
Yeah,
tag
the OG Bullet Club tag team. They're the guys who always hold all the tag team titles. So like, it would make sense with like their characters and everything.
Villain Enterprises would be kind of cool though.
Yeah, that's my prediction, because that would be just super fun.
Way cool. Way cool. I don't know. So you're picking Villain Enterprises?
Yeah, I'm picking Villain Enterprises.
Oh gosh. See, since I think Jeff Cobb's winning earlier in the night, I think a New Japan team's going to win this one.
Okay, that makes
I think
sense.
GOD's going to take it. I think good bad guy Tomatonga is somehow going to pull this off and walk out at MSG with all the belts. I can see it. I can see the Instagram posts right now.
Yep, that makes sense.
So the next match for the British Heavyweight Championship, and that's a Rev Pro belt?
Yep, Rev Pro, because basically it's kind of this loose alliance of promotions, just because New Japan does this thing with their young lions where they send them off to what's called excursion. So they get trained in the New Japan dojo, do like very much undercard matches for or kind of opening bouts, like the 10 minutes, and then are basically sent off for a year or a year and a half or two to either Rev Pro in the UK, CMLL in Mexico, or Ring of Honor. And Rev Pro is one of the big ones, and they don't send as many people there, but like because they now have that connection, and they have Zack Sabre Jr. as the Rev Pro British Heavyweight Champion, they always kind of highlight that belt, which is nice because like it was at Wrestle Kingdom. He defended it at Wrestle Kingdom, won it back at Wrestle Kingdom. Actually,
he just beat not Ishimori, Ishii.
Yeah, Ishii. Yep.
Ishii. He just beat Ishii for it not too long ago, or defended it successfully against Ishii. But he's got Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Yeah,
that's the ace. He's got to go up against the ace.
Yeah,
but they've been pushing Zack hard. And didn't Zack beat? Did Zack beat him in the New Japan Cup, or did he lose in the New Japan Cup?
He lost in the New Japan Cup, but it was actually kind of interesting because actually the loss. New Japan is very good at if like in one of these tournament situations, if a champion loses, whoever beats him gets a shot.
It gets a shot at him.
So that's what set this match up was Tanahashi beat him in the New Japan Cup.
Yep.
And which technically is Zack's first loss in a New Japan Cup because he won his first one was last year and he won it.
Yeah.
So he got to it was the quarterfinals this year and Tanahashi beat him.
So now Tanahashi goes to I think Zack gets the win back.
I think so too.
I mean, they get WWE gets blamed a lot for 50-50 booking, but every promotion's guilty of 50-50 booking. And I don't see them putting the belt on Tanahashi right now. I think I'm gonna go Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, I think Zack Sabre Jr. because Tanahashi doesn't.
He's slowing down.
He's slowing down. I always compared him like he's a perfect blend of Eddie Guerrero and John Cena.
That's a very accurate description.
Like he has all the charisma and projectability of John Cena, but then can wrestle like Eddie Guerrero.
Go Ace, go.
Yeah.
So next up, we got the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. This is gonna be a doozy. Tetsuya Naito versus Kota Ibushi. Oh man, someone's gonna get dropped on their head. It's gonna be scary. I'm gonna just cover my eyes. Someone's gonna hit somebody with something that's just gonna look just nasty. Oh, this is gonna be oh gosh. I don't even.
Is Ibushi going to find a balcony to dive off of? That is the question.
Well, there's that low overhang in MSG. Like there is.
There is.
There's the notorious low overhang there because I'm terrified for their lives in this match.
Yeah. Kota Ibushi is a crazy person. Yeah. And
Tetsuya Naito's a crazy person.
Yes. Like Kota Ibushi is so crazy he's been banned from arenas banned from wrestling in arenas in Japan because of a balcony dive.
Because he doesn't listen.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't listen. Don't jump off that, Kota. What? And then he jumps off it.
Yeah. So yeah, he was up until last year he was banned from Budokan Hall because of doing a moonsault off a balcony.
And he's wrestled a couple times. Yeah, he's wrestled. Well, they just wrestled in the New Japan Cup.
Yep, they just wrestled in the New Japan Cup. It's always a good match.
Or no, Kota Ibushi beat him.
That was
So this is the same as the match previous. Ibushi beat Naito in the New Japan Cup.
Yep.
Ibushi gets the shot at the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
I could see if Zack Sabre retains, I think this could be the one I see actually switching hands, which is weird to say.
I'm not sure about that. So do you know the full like backstory on why Tetsuya Naito hates the Intercontinental Championship as much as he does?
Started watching New Japan Wrestling like 6 months ago, so it's like literally I just know that he hates the belt and treats it like crap. Like it's just like he treats it so poorly.
So Naito is Los Ingobernables de Japan leader.
Yep.
And kind of how that more ungovernable version of him started was Wrestle Kingdom 8. He won the G1 and was going to face Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. The crowds were a little lukewarm to him at that point, and so they were like, oh, okay, I mean, that match will be good, but New Japan was like, oh, we got to put something else underneath it kind of to make it special to sell out the Tokyo Dome. And Shinsuke Nakamura and Hiroshi Tanahashi pretty much hadn't touched in like 4 years. And it was kind of a feud that kept New Japan alive in a darker period.
Okay.
When they weren't getting as much fanfare. And they're like, let's do Nakamura versus Tanahashi again. Like, let's see how that goes. Like, let's build that up for Wrestle Kingdom. And they're like, oh, yeah, that would be really good because Nakamura had the IC title at that point.
Oh.
And then they're like, oh, this is catching up a lot of momentum. Maybe we should main event with this.
Okay.
And Naito and Okada are like, but we're the heavyweight championship. Like, it should be us main eventing. So they put it to a fan vote.
Oof.
And they were like, hey, here's this match that we're kind of lukewarm for, or this match that we haven't seen in like 4 years. Which one should main event?
With two of the greatest wrestlers in this generation.
So the IC title main evented over the IWGP title, which is why that belt is just the epitome of Naito being like, I hate this promotion so much. And like
that's why he hates that belt.
That's why he hates that belt, and that's why
awesome.
he treats it like crap.
I learned something new today. I learned why Naito hates the IC Championship.
Yeah.
Which is good because he's gonna lose it to Kota Ibushi anyways. You going with Naito?
I'm going with Naito retaining because I'm just enough of an old school fan that if Kota Ibushi is ever beating anyone for that belt, it has to be Nakamura.
If Nakamura gets out of his WWE contract because they're doing nothing with him and goes back to Japan,
because
I love Nakamura, but man, is he being wasted.
Yeah, a match recommendation if you haven't seen it, go back to Wrestle Kingdom 9, Kota Ibushi versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Watched it.
It's probably one of my favorite matches.
Fan-freaking-tastic.
And that's why I was like, if Ibushi ever wins that title, he needs to beat Nakamura for it.
Although I would like to see Naito go for it because he's been saying he wants to have both belts.
Yes.
And I would like to see him versus Jay White down the road. I can see your point too. But I'm going to go Kota Ibushi. I believe. All right. All right. So then we got the Ring of Honor championship, which is going to be a triple threat. We got Jay Lethal, who's the champion, versus Matt Taven versus Marty Scurll.
Yeah.
Who you got?
It's a ladder match too.
Oh, it's a ladder match?
Yeah, it's a ladder match.
Okay, I didn't write that down.
Yeah, which is going to be like way more exciting. So Matt Taven is the leader of the Kingdom, which is a faction that's actually been around for a long time in Ring of Honor.
Okay.
Like it was originally started with Matt Taven as the lackey to his tag team partner Mike Bennett, who's now Mike Kanellis.
Yeah.
And the leader of the faction, Adam Cole.
Baby.
Yeah. So then, Cole leaves Ring of Honor, so it becomes Bennett and Taven.
Go start the greatest faction ever.
Yeah. Bennett then leaves. So you're thinking, okay, what are they going to do? And then they give Matt Taven this big push of like, he's been claiming that he's the champion because he beat Jay Lethal in a non-title match.
Okay.
Earlier, I think this summer.
Okay.
And so since then, he's been claiming like, no, I'm the real world champion. And he's been really a prick about it.
So how did Marty Scurll weasel his way into this
Marty
match?
Scurll won a tournament called Survival of the Fittest.
Okay.
And has been having this title shot for like 3 months. And like Taven keeps being like, no, I'm the real world champion. I'm going to get the title shot first.
Do you think in all the squabbling, you think he could steal it? Think Scurll could steal it?
I think it would be best. It would be best for Ring of Honor if Scurll won.
Yeah.
Because it gives Jay Lethal is a fantastic wrestler, but he has held this title for a very long time, and Matt Taven has been like a really cool conduit to him, but not so much lately. Well, so I think something new with Marty Scurll would be fun.
If you were right on Villain Enterprises in the earlier match, and then Scurll at the championship match, then Villain Enterprises is holding all the belts, looking like a legit faction. Now that they kind of, because they formed not that long ago when everybody left. When everyone abandoned ship for AEW, which Marty Scurll doesn't know what AEW is. You see those videos where he meets people? Oh, it's so good. God. The way they use online marketing and online stuff is just top notch.
Yep. But yeah, I think because all of Villain Enterprises, like, even though they're treated very much like a babyface faction and the fans love them, they can just instantly turn and be like the worst dude. I mean, look at PCO and Brody King, and then look at the rest of the Ring of Honor roster. Right. Those two look like giant monsters.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you have this like little shit of Marty Scurll, like just being this dastardly little villain.
That's amazing.
The whole time.
That is amazing.
And then you have a faction in Ring of Honor called Lifeblood.
Okay.
Which was Juice Robinson, Mark Haskins, and a bunch of
Juice.
Yeah, and a bunch of other. That's where Tennille Dashwood is.
I can't believe Juice isn't on this card.
It's weird.
How is the U.S. title, the New Japan U.S. title, held by Juice, not on this card?
Not on this card. Well, I mean,
I'm gonna go with Marty too.
Look at this card.
Yeah, that's true. There's no room for it.
There's no room.
There is no room. Well, it starts at 5 in the afternoon. They could have fit it on.
They could have fit it.
Let's get rid of that honor. Let's get rid of that Honor Rumble or the Bully Ray one, and then that's where that should go. I'm just gonna be honest right there.
Yeah. Well,
but I'm gonna take Scurll too.
Yep.
All right. So the main event of the G1, because we're going to be here all day if we don't get moving, because we still got a 14-hour WrestleMania to talk about and NXT TakeOver. But the main event of the G1, the New Japan Heavyweight Championship of the World, is on the line. Champion Jay White versus Kazuchika Okada, the winner of the New Japan Cup. Who you got and why?
I think Okada.
Really?
I think Okada because... They are setting up. Thor disagrees with me. They're setting up possibly the big final rematch for Wrestle Kingdom, and that's been the rumors of Okada versus Naito for Wrestle Kingdom, but
for both belts,
for possibly both belts.
Okay, I could see that,
but that's almost a year away, so you don't have to push it that far. And I've actually really liked Jay White's title run so far, but I think you want to have a happy moment ending the show.
Breathe with the Switchblade is the happiest moment of them all.
But all the confetti and the dollars falling.
Breathing with it. But
I'm with it. All the dollars with the Rainmaker pose, it would be
new era. New era.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like that's the good thing about kind of like the top half of this card is I'd be okay
any way
with
it goes. It's gonna be great.
Yep.
Any way it goes. That is, you're right. The whole top half of this card, literally outcome is inconsequential. The quality of matches is gonna be outstanding.
Yeah, like basically from that tag match forward, it's like anybody. I'd be okay with anybody.
Oh yeah. Because I want Ishimori. I don't want Dragon Lee or Bandido. So yeah, you're right. From the tag match on.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of quality of matches, now let's get into my most anticipated part of the whole WrestleMania weekend, NXT Takeover New York, not Brooklyn, it's New York, but it's in the Barclays and it's in Brooklyn. But we're not going to talk about that because it's not Brooklyn 5 or 6 or 4 or whatever it is. It's NXT Takeover New York. Okay,
yeah. Like I was wondering, like I mean, you've got the Brooklyn,
the symbol's the Liberty Flame. Yeah. Just it's New York.
Yep.
5 matches on this card. It's going to be a tight 2.5 hours. Supercard's going to go at least 4.5. That could be pushing 5 since they start at 5 o'clock. WrestleMania, when we get there, we'll talk about how long that is, but it'll start on one day and end on another day. So just be prepared for that. Stay well hydrated.
It is on the East Coast, so that is actually a possibility.
NXT, Friday night. It's going to be a tight 2.5 hours. You sit down, have a nice, adult beverage, and enjoy probably the best top to bottom card of the entire weekend because it is so tight. Like I said, 5 matches. Yep. First match, my boy, Walter. And it is written in capital letters on my sheet of paper because that's how you spell it, damn it.
Well, that is, like on all his indie shows, that is how it's always
Walter
spelled.
In all caps. I write my name in all caps too. My name's Thor, but I always write Thor in all caps because I get it. We're a big deal.
Yeah.
Like huge. I'm huge, as they'd say over there. Pete Dunn, the UK champ. Him and Walter are going to go at it. This is going to be a brutal chop fest. There's going to be joint manipulation. Yeah. There's going to be strong style brutality. Pete Dunn is going to somehow win because he's had that championship for eternity. No, I think
he's had it for so long.
He's got the longest reign. Well, I don't know. Yeah. Longest reign in WWE right now.
Yeah, he's currently the longest reigning current champion because Lesnar, if you combined his 2 reigns,
he dropped it to
but he's got those couple little spaces where he wasn't champion.
Brock Lesnar. Well, this match, if you're not familiar with Walter, go check out some of it. Just type in Walter chops in YouTube and enjoy because it's like watching somebody ground beef on a live human with their chest.
Just look at, it was last year's Joey Janela's spring break. Look at PCO's chest after the Walter match.
It's like roast beef.
It's disgusting.
It is. Who do you got?
I got Walter.
You got Walter?
The Big Daddy Walter.
They do want to put it on him.
They want to, and I think it's a lot of fun. And you have, I just like the fact that he's blatantly a bad guy too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's some like
he's an Austrian villain, and he's just perfect Austrian villain. He's huge. He's like 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
He's just a mammoth. Like, go check him out. I actually think you're right. I think I could see it on Walter because I think they want to use Pete Dunne for more than just the UK stuff, and I could see his transition to the main roster maybe coming Raw after. Or SmackDown after.
Or
and then get that belt off him to kind of let that be the UK NXT thing. Mm-hmm. So I could totally see that. Then we got the NXT Championship, Tag Team Championship match. Excuse me. We got the War Raiders, who are the current champs, versus, this is probably the easiest match to predict all night. Ricochet and Alistair Black, because they won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic last week on NXT. Yep. Now, the War Raiders versus Ricochet and Alistair Black is going to be a phenomenal match. Like, the quality of match is going to be outstanding.
Yes.
Especially seeing what Alistair Black and Ricochet have been doing versus the Revival, what they did at Fastlane with Gable and Rude.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be a heck of a match. But outcome-wise,
it's definitely going to be War Raiders.
War Raiders.
Yeah.
100%.
But that being said, like, Alistair Black, his entire career, from being Alistair Black to on the indies being Tommy End, he is like an underrated like tag team specialist.
Yeah.
He used to, there's a couple matches that actually I was going to recommend. Weirdly enough, it's against the same teams. War Raiders, back when they were War Machine, had this series of matches in progress with a tag team called the London Riots.
Okay.
That were just riots. Like, it was
that were literal riots.
Yeah, like, it was, one of them was a TLC match that, like, all those guys, because the London Riots are about the same size as War Raiders.
Oh, really?
So it's just a bunch of big beefy dudes just in a ladder match.
Look at all that beef.
And Alistair Black, back when he was Tommy End, he had a tag team partner named Michael Dante in a tag team called the Sumerian Death Squad. who are really good and really, because Michael Dante is actually bigger than Alistair Black.
Oh, wow.
So like he's like the little nimble agile guy in the team, which is weird.
That is weird.
And then he also had a Heroes Eventually Die tag team with Chris Hero, which was also a lot of fun.
Dang. Dang, those do sound like some good matches. I might have to check those out.
And then Ricochet is just Ricochet.
Ricochet is so good.
He's so good.
So good. Ricochet's my boy. Oh God, that man is the stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, War Raiders, they're gonna win.
Yeah, War Raiders.
Because first off, Ricochet and Alistair Black are on the main roster and will probably be broken up when they don't need them to be a tag team anymore because they're literally just slapped together because they want to have exposure. And it's like, where can we expose them? Hey, we have no tag teams. Let's put them together and have them just do great matches.
They basically said their farewells to the Full Sail audience at the last set of tapings. Yep. So
this is the swan song for them. The next match I'm very excited for. This could be a sneaky match of the night right here.
Yeah.
Matt Riddle, Velveteen Dream, North American Championship belt is on the line. Velveteen Dream's the champ. Matt Riddle's the challenger. This is going to be I don't even know what to expect from this match.
I don't either, and I'm just expecting it's going to be fun. Like that's all I care about in this match. Like as I was writing down notes and stuff, I just had one word for this, and it was just bro.
Bro. I can't wait to see what Velveteen's ring attire looks like. Because if he has a call me up Vince like on his butt like that one time, or if he comes out in a Hogan inspired, or they're in New York, so who knows what he's gonna do? Yeah, like Velveteen Dream is just who knows what he's gonna do.
Yep.
Oh man, it's gonna be so good. This is a hard one to call too, though. This is a really difficult one for me because Velveteen just got the belt from Johnny Gargano.
Yep.
I could see Riddle. I could see this more being a pit stop for Riddle.
Yes.
On the push to the main event. Mm-hmm. So and Velveteen needs a win. He loses a lot at takeovers. Yeah. He takes a lot of L's at takeovers. And I don't think he needs another L at a takeover. I think Riddle could take an L.
Yeah. Riddle,
and it would be all right for his character.
Like, I mean, he doesn't completely do like a chokehold, but like you could do like Riddle having like the bro mission synced in, but then Velveteen Dream kind of cradles him back and gets a pin. Like it could be a little fluky. Like
it's gonna be cheatsy doodle.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be a clean finish. I don't want a clean finish in the middle of the ring out of this, but I want Velveteen to retain. I could even see him if he is in fear of losing the belt, getting himself disqualified.
That would be a good character turn for him too. So
just out of desperation, like he doesn't want to lose the belt, so he'll do anything to keep it. Kind of a little bit like you saw with poor Tommaso Ciampa, but like he would have done anything to keep Goldie.
Yes,
if you kind of use that, but in a more Velveteenish way, I could see that being very effective. So we're both going Velveteen.
No, I had Riddle.
Oh, you're going Riddle.
I'm going Riddle.
You're going Riddle.
Yeah,
because throw a belt on him.
Yeah, because I think like you just keep the momentum going.
See, I think whoever loses this match will be going against whoever wins the championship match.
Okay,
later.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Like the championship match,
and that's why I think I could see Riddle because of who I'm gonna have winning the the end. So all right, next match. Shayna Baszler, the NXT Women's Champion, versus Kairi Sane versus Bianca Belair. That was the one I messed up. And then Io Shirai. I got Kairi Sane and Io Shirai. I couldn't say Bianca Belair. Jesus. And Shayna Baszler. Fatal four-way.
Well, because you were so worried about the other ones.
I was thinking. I was at Io Shirai in my head, so I was just whatever. Yeah. Whatevs. Shayna Baszler's been dominant. She chokes everybody out. She comes in every match and just beats everybody up.
Yep.
The lackeys are there. The horsewomen are there in some capacity. This is a fatal four-way, but I am bored. The women's division in NXT is boring. I'm sorry. And I hate to say it, but I'm not. I'm bored with it.
Yeah.
I'm very bored
it's like
with
there's so much really good talent on like the main roster that isn't getting utilized. And it's like you basically have these four women are the real standouts because sadly, Dakota Kai's injured. Tegan Knox is injured. They haven't done anything with Rhea Ripley, who could be really fantastic if you give her an opportunity.
Well, Candice LeRae's not even.
Candice LeRae's not
they could
even
be doing something with her.
Yep.
God, who else? Taya Conti is all right.
Yep. Tanera Conti is great, but yeah, it's like there's so much depth.
Ricochet's girlfriend.
Casey Cannizzaro.
Yeah.
There's so much potential, and it's like it's not that I don't like all four of these women, but it feels like it's just been the four of them on top of the card.
Well, and Baszler's just so dominant at this point. It's like who's really gonna beat her? I don't see her losing this. I see another retention.
Yep. I see because of what could possibly happen later. I see her choking out Bianca Belair again. And just so that Kairi Sane and Io Shirai can move on to SmackDown.
Man.
For that women's tag division.
Yawn.
Which would be great.
That would just be a yawn. But I see Baszler coming up soon too, so I could see maybe someone stealing it.
Yeah. Well, and
since it's a four-way, like she doesn't actually get pinned, but that's how she loses it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To get it off her.
Yeah, that is the weird thing of like, do you move Shayna Baszler up while Ronda's still there?
So I don't think Ronda will be there after Mania, though.
And that's the thing of like, I don't know either. Because
she won't be back until Ronda won't be back until SmackDown moves to Fox in the fall.
Yeah, when they need it as much
Brock
stuff
too.
as possible.
Brock too. They'll both watch WrestleMania will happen. Both those two will go away within a week or two of the show, and you will not see them again until they show up on SmackDown when SmackDown is on Fox because they need the draw. It's it's sad but true, and that's why they both need to lose their championships before they walk away. But I don't want to get into that because never mind.
Or like, so my prediction's Shayna, but
Shayna, yeah, we're both going Shayna.
But like, I would not be surprised if like Bianca Belair pins like Io Shirai or Kairi Sane.
That was what I was kind of saying too. Is like my backup if they do pull it off Baszler to throw her up with Ronda leaving, and they want a heel MMA chick on the main roster, then throw it on Bianca. But I think you're rushing it if you put it on Bianca. I don't think she's ready to be champ and carry that division.
Yeah, she's super talented, but it's like she needs more big match experience.
Yeah, she does. Yep. She does. And I don't know if they'll put it on Io or Kairi, which like you said, I like to see that moved up for a tag team. Seeing them going up against the Iconics or something, like, would be great.
And like them eventually going up against Bayley and Sasha would be so much fun.
Well, there's so much I want to get into, but it's in the next video, or not the next video, the next part of the video. All right, let's finish up NXT TakeOver so we can get there.
Yep.
Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole, baby, like it says on the back of my sweatshirt. 2 out of 3 falls for the vacant NXT championship. This should be match of the night. I've heard that they're testing this in house shows right now. They're not doing the 2 out of 3 falls, but they're doing Cole versus Gargano and house shows leading up to.
It makes sense.
I've heard it's phenomenal.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
And I'm so pumped for this. So pumped.
This is the one where it's like I almost like it's so hard to predict a winner because like I could see it going either way because thankfully Johnny Gargano is back to just being Johnny Wrestling. And like we don't have any of the drama. It's just he's the best wrestler in that company. And then you have Adam Cole,
the ultimate leader of the bad guy faction. He's the heel of NXT now with Ciampa being hurt. He's the guy. Now this is where it gets tricky. It's what do you see WWE doing post Friday night, right?
Yep.
But Vince doesn't care what they do Friday night. That's the scariest part about it.
Yeah.
Is then you have to remember the wild card that like even if Trips does paints the most beautiful picture. Like, Vince can walk in with a Crayola crayon and still draw a penis on it, and then it's like, and then just walks away, and he's like, "We're doing that, son." Yeah. That's it. So, okay, how I feel this one is gonna go. If Undisputed's not getting called up as a faction, they're gonna put it on Adam Cole because I think they're gonna use Johnny Gargano on the main roster. They've already teased him. He's already kind of been teased that he's moving to the main roster. I think his profile's actually on the main roster page as a superstar.
Yeah, I haven't checked, but yeah,
because I know Ricochet's and Alistair's Black Star.
Okay.
So if Johnny's is 2, then you put it on Adam Cole. You have him run. That's why you have Riddle lose. Yep. So then Riddle can go against Cole. Riddle's your face. Cole's your heel.
Okay.
You have that kind of marching forward.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you get the awesome matches of Riddle going through the rest of Undisputed Era,
him versus Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh,
him versus Bobby Fish. Him versus Roderick Strong. Yep. Him tag teaming with Keith Lee to fight.
Yep.
Red Dragon. It's just it sets up for a matches you need to carry you to the summer, right?
I like that.
And then it lets Johnny kind of move on, but putting it on Johnny, the culmination of his journey.
Yeah.
I only like that if he's beating Tommaso Ciampa. I don't like it if him beating Adam Cole.
Yeah, I get that. It's kind of the same like we said earlier, like me not wanting Ibushi to win because he's not beating Nakamura.
Oh, exactly.
It's
exactly
like,
the same thing.
Yep. Johnny winning but not beating Tommaso Ciampa. It's like, does he have to?
It doesn't fulfill the prophecy.
Yeah. Well, because my prediction like almost a year ago was Gargano getting called to the main roster, but actually doing 205 Live and winning the Cruiserweight title.
Chills down my spine is how much I hate that.
Yeah. But winning the Cruiserweight title and actually building that up again and then having, when Tommaso came back from injury, Tommaso going for the Cruiserweight title and stuff. But I also love the Cruiserweight title way more than a lot of people
love
do.
it, but I just want people to see these matches.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? And not be on the pre-show.
Yes.
So like I'd love to see that for like the US title. I'd love to see it for the WWE title. Let me be right forward with that. But I don't know. So who do you got going?
My heart's saying like I kind of want Gargano to win just to culminate him finally winning a belt,
the big one.
And I'm biased. Like I couldn't find my Johnny Wrestling T-shirt, but otherwise, like we would have clearly been an opposite.
That would have been
awesome.
Spectrum. Oh, that would have been hilarious.
Yeah,
I gotta go. I mean, it's undisputed.
Yeah,
like I gotta. All right, let's move on.
Let's move on to the 8 hours that are going to be WrestleMania 35.
WrestleMania is going to have a 3-hour pre-show and a 5-hour main show. So, you got to plan accordingly. There are definitely bathroom break matches in here. There are definitely, there are definitely matches you can go do other things. Refill your plate,
In looking through this breakdown, I forgot about the host and the musical guest.
Oh, I wrote them down for us. Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, I got that. I got that covered. Yeah. So and let's start there. So WrestleMania 35, Sunday, April 7th, starting at 2:00 in the afternoon,
probably
ending at 10:00 in the evening. That would be 8 hours. Oh God, is that true? Yeah, that is.
No, that's
because it's 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 3-hour pre-show.
Yep.
Then I'm talking Central Standard in the States. So if you're Eastern, just adjust accordingly, 1 to 9 or however that goes. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you are, you figure it out.
Yeah.
But for us, it's 2 to 10.
Yep.
So we're gonna predict the matches, but we're also gonna predict maybe some. We're gonna talk about unconfirmed matches. Should we start with unconfirmed matches, or should we? Yeah, I think we should start with unconfirmed matches.
Yeah, because then we'll
the unconfirmed matches, which will inevitably be on the pre-show if they do get announced, because they have to fill 3 hours. So you'd figure at least 4 pre-show matches.
Yeah.
So unconfirmed matches.
Do you want the backlash of that being on the pre-show though? Because they hated that last time.
They have the main event. They don't. What do they care? They have the main event. They can do it. They've built in their installation for this. The women's battle royal hasn't been even mentioned, but it's probably happening.
Yep.
The Raw Tag Team Champions don't have an opponent, but they may get one.
Yep.
And SmackDown, Usos versus Hardys? ?
Well, it could be Usos versus Hardys versus The Bar versus
Nakamura and Rusev.
Which, and that's the thing of do you keep it a strict 2 versus 2 so that you can have the Bar and Nakamura and Rusev in the Andre Battle Royal?
If any of these matches happen, they will all be on the pre-show. I don't think the only tag team match we will get in the whole event is going to be the women's tag team, because WWE hates tag team wrestling. So the only tag team match that'll be on the main card will be the women's tag. That's it. This is another reason why they can get away with putting the women's battle royal on the pre-show. See, what I hope is, and here's what they'll probably do. They'll probably put the 3 ones we just mentioned and the Cruiserweight Championship on the pre-show. Yeah, but I would love for them to do the Andre Battle Royale, the 2 tag teams, and the Women Battle Royale on the pre-show. The Cruiserweights get on the main show, but they won't do that because those 2 stupid douchebags from Saturday Night Live are going to be in the Andre Battle Royale and Braun, and those are the only 3 people announced. Yep. So Braun's winning.
Yeah. Braun's winning unless I've got a prediction for that.
Okay, good. Let's start with that. Okay. Let's start. This will be the Armbar will be the first actual prediction. Oh, it's hosted by Alexa Bliss.
Yep, hosted by Alexa Bliss, which is one of the reasons I kind of hope the Cruiserweight match is actually on the main card so that she can actually like be a segue to the Buddy Murphy match.
That would be awesome.
Which would be kind of cool.
That would be way awesome. And then musical guests, not Pitbull, not Flo Rida. It's Elias.
I mean, of the musical guests that they've had the last few years, this is like the least annoying.
He'll get interrupted every time. He may play 30 seconds of one song. Who knows? The Rock will interrupt him at some point, probably.
It'll be somebody, but
Stone. They'll have. It'll be like a legacy or it'll be a legend. It'll definitely be a legend who interrupts him at Mania for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. But the armbar is the first one we'll start with that because the armbar is awful. I'm just gonna take Braun because it's the only person they've talked about, and he has nothing going on. So I mean, you might as well let him win it.
Yeah. Well, and it's weird. Like, do you have him just constantly not win the Andre Battle Royal? Because I think it's either going to be Braun or my pick would actually be just now Ali. Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
Being, because I think that would be a big win on. I mean, it's the Andre Battle Royal.
They love taking people's names away.
I know, and it's like it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all. Like it doesn't. No, like even when they did Rowan, Eric Rowan's now just Rowan.
Yeah.
Mustafa Ali is just Ali. Apollo Crews is just Apollo, right?
Yeah, it's just Apollo now.
Yeah. Oh, there's just so many. Then that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. Well, and that was the joke.
I like your Ali pick.
When they did that earlier this week, the joke online was like, "Oh, great! Is next they're just gonna call him Walt?" It's like, okay, that's actually pretty funny.
That's what we call my grandpa. Is Grandpa Walt. I mean, my middle name's Walter. So
yeah.
All right. So you got Ali. I got Braun.
Yeah.
It's going to be awful. The SNL dudes will definitely make it horrible. They have no business in there. The one of them who's like, isn't wrestling fake? I hate that dude.
I love him on SNL.
Yeah, on SNL's fine. But
on Weekend Update, but it's like, no, why are they
actors
doing
and
this?
Funny people in wrestling rarely mix well.
Yep.
Not John Candy, Drew Carey many years ago. What was it? John Stewart a couple years ago.
John
These
Stewart.
all go over like wet farts in an elevator. So now let's talk about that Cruiserweight Championship match. Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese. Buddy Murphy's the champion. Tony Nese the challenger. Tony Nese has held it for Buddy Murphy's held it for what, like 6 months, 8 months, something like that?
Yeah, because it was SummerSlam that he won. Or the Australia show this summer.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Super Summer Showdown.
Yeah,
or
whatever it was. Yeah.
So, do you watch 205 Live?
On occasion, yes.
On occasion.
I keep up with it pretty well, and like I really like Buddy Murphy. Like he is way more talented than like, especially when you saw like the tag team in NXT. Like it was way more talented. Like he's way more talented than you think he would be. From that tag team, he's just gotten so much better.
Yeah.
Like, and
him as a singles wrestler is I mean, he stepped his game up. Some of the matches he's had, God, he's pretty much faced everybody in the division though. Like him versus
and that's the thing.
Kenta now, or well, God, what did they call him in WWE? Hideo Itami. Jesus, I forgot. Him versus Hideo Itami. Him versus Cedric Alexander. Him versus pretty much everybody on the roster at this point. So they had a little tournament over at 205 Live over the past few weeks, and that's how Tony Nese got this opportunity to face Buddy Murphy, was through that. So, do you think Buddy Murphy finally loses it?
I don't think so yet, but that's mostly because I really like some of the people that are in like the Performance Center right now.
Does Kushida show up on 205 Live or NXT? Is he at the NXT show or is he at WrestleMania?
See, here's the thing. Like, I almost wonder if he like shows up in the crowd at NXT as like a swerve. Like he shows up on the crowd and everybody's like, oh, he's coming to NXT, cool, and then shows up on 205
Live. I could see that, but that's only if they start putting him, like, they have to start featuring it though. Like he'd have to be on like actual programming, like actual TV.
You could also do guys like ACH who just got signed, but I guess he did make his NXT debut. I think it's actually going to air this week.
Okay. No, it already aired.
Oh, it already aired. Okay.
Or next week, because they do have one more before.
Yeah, we're doing this Friday, obviously.
Because they'll have the dark matches for the New York show. So I think they'll probably do Keith Lee versus like Dominic Divakovic or whatever. Like that'll probably be on the pre-show. Street Profits will go up against like Forgotten Sons or something. It'll be something like that.
With the everybody's name getting shortened, except for Donovan Dijakovic, who gets it's Donovan Dijak. Dominic
Divakovic. Yeah, I just call him Big Dom.
It's like
so we both got Buddy Murphy then.
Yeah, I think we both got Buddy Murphy.
Now the saddest match of the night. Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. Now, I'm going to put a big asterisk next to that because I don't know that they're really going to do it, but we still got one more Raw and one more SmackDown, and these are just the announced matches. Yes. We're doing this a little early. We're getting this up early. I'm going to be out of town. We want to get it up before next weekend, right? Yes. So, like I said, some of this stuff may change, but we're going with the information as is presented to us on this present day, whatever today is. So, Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. I just put in my notes, goodbye, Kurt. This is going to be sad. I mean, watching him wrestle. Oh, God. Who did I watch him wrestle just recently? And I was like, this is really sad because he went to do an angle slam and it just looked sad. Was it AJ Styles? Did he wrestle AJ on SmackDown? He wrestled AJ
on SmackDown. And then
that was it. He looked really sad. And it looked really sad. I was depressed.
That was last week on Raw when he wrestled Chad Gable.
Yeah. Like that Gable carried him pretty much that whole match.
Well, that's because Gable's the most like low key, like underrated talent they have on that roster.
How they messed that up and didn't make Gable Angle's son and made Jason Jordan Angle's son.
I don't get it.
And Gable's like perfectly set to be like a goofy. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not going to digress.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle's going to lose because he's going to do the right thing, like any leaving wrestler, and he's going to put over the next guy, and the next guy just happens to be boring Corbin.
Yeah.
So I mean, just accept it. It's going to be short. Hopefully it'll be early in the night, and hopefully we'll get enough moments that it won't sour the night too much. But it's going to happen if it does go down that way. I would like to see him versus John Cena, but then again, it's like he doesn't need to put Cena over.
No.
So you kind of do want to see him put over somebody.
Yeah, put over somebody, but it's like, why does it have to be Baron Corbin?
But like the GM angle, like storyline, it makes sense. Nobody wants it though.
Like there's a match later. I believe, I would have switched like Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre's matches.
Kurt versus Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Roman was going over whoever anyways. Yep. Yeah, you're right. I would have had Drew retire Kurt Angle. That would have been better. Okay. So we're both gonna take Corbin.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. The Miz versus Shane O'Mac in a Falls Count Anywhere. This has been the best storyline they have going. You can take your Becky Lynch storyline, you can take your Kofi Kingston storyline, they're good. But they are not The Miz and Shane McMahon. The best tag team in the world, featuring the best wrestler in the world, featuring The Miz, Falls Count Anywhere. This is going to be a good match. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be an entertaining match.
Is going to be way better than it has any right to be.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm thinking The Miz, just because a bad guy McMahon on WrestleMania has a very terrible track record, win-loss record. So,
well, in the way I think the WWE Championship's going, I think The Miz too, because I think that this is his the beginning of his path towards the championship match.
Okay,
so I think he gets Shane, so that gives him the clout to be like, I want a championship match. And then I think he's going to feud with, the champion in the summer.
Okay.
So I'm with you. I'm with you. And it will definitely be better than it has any right to be. So the next is the women's tag team match, which has just become a cluster.
Yeah.
It's the Boss and Hug Connection, which are your champions, versus the Iconics, which are my favorite tag team going, versus the Samoan Slaughterhouse, which is Nia Jax and Tamina. And then you got Natalya and Beth Phoenix, because... let's not put Kairi Sane and Io Shirai in there. Some fresh. Let's get the two oldest women wrestlers we have and put them in there. And then one coming out of retirement.
Well, that being said, like the initial, the rumor going around for a while for this match was actually supposed to be Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Trish and Lita.
Oh, that would have been all right.
Which would have been fun, but it's like, so I think they had that idea, and it's like, oh, we didn't make the deal work. I mean,
Natty and Beth are good enough.
Beth are good. It's like, they are.
Get the Sky Pirates in there. They would have killed it.
They would have
killed it.
Especially on WrestleMania.
Although I'm terrified for everybody in there, because you got the botch machines.
Yeah.
The Samoan botch machine in there. Which I won't digress into that. I want to see the Iconics win. I'm just going to put that. I think the Iconics should have been the first ones anyways. I get why you do Boss and Hug. I get why you give those to it, because they're not vying for the championships at the present moment.
Yeah.
It's good. And eventually when they do finally split and we finally get Bayley versus Sasha, maybe next year at WrestleMania, so we can build it for 2 full years. Because that's a storyline you got to let, age like a fine wine.
Yes.
They were friends. They went to therapy. They weren't friends. Then they're friends again. Now they're tag champs. Blah, 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 blah. They're probably going to retain. But I really want the Iconics to win.
Yeah. I just want the Boston Hug Connection to retain, just so they can actually fulfill that promise of, hey, we're going to go around to NXT. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, because the crowd reaction when they came back on NXT,
that was crazy. That was
so cool.
That was a brother love pop.
Yeah,
that was like a Linda McMahon pop. That was out of control.
But like one of the things they didn't mention was NXT UK, which they could go over there. And that would actually be a lot of fun.
That would be. I could see them doing that for a takeover or like a one-off maybe. That could be interesting to see where they go with that. So you're taking Boss and Hug?
Yeah, I'm thinking Boss and Hug.
My brain says take Boss and Hug, but I'm going to go Iconics.
Okay.
So then we got the U.S. champ Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio, which is weird. How Andrade isn't in this, and we make it a 3-way at least. I'm cool with them leaving out. Who was the 4th member that they kept putting in? Yeah, that's fine. Leave him out. But this should have Andrade. Him not being on this card is a travesty, high on the list of travesties. And I'm hoping that we're wrong, and that by the time this actually match takes place, it is Rey Mysterio and Andrade and Samoa Joe. Because Joe and Mysterio, why they can probably put on a great match.
Yeah, it'll be fun, but it could be better.
I would love to see Andrade in there. He's the young guy. He needs it, and he would need the W. I would love to see him have a moment, his WrestleMania moment, by winning maybe the United States Championship.
Yep.
In this match, because Samoa Joe doesn't need it. But it's nice to keep it on him, and I don't see any reason of them taking him off in a one-on-one versus Rey Mysterio. I don't see them switching that.
Yeah.
Plus, he wants to choke Ray out so he can ask Dominic, who will be ringside, now who's your daddy? You know?
Yeah, and the fact, I love the fact that even though the crowd gets behind him once in a while, Samoa Joe is, the best, bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's the only, pure heel, on this roster. He's no, I'm a terrible human.
On SmackDown, yeah. 100%.
Yep. So yeah, him just choking out Ray, I think would be fitting end. So yeah, I've got Joe retaining.
Joe kind of gets his moment then, which he deserves. Yeah. Andrade's got years to get a moment. You're right. Let Joe have his moment. For him and Ray, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because like Joe hasn't had a WrestleMania moment.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, let Joe have his moment. Yep. Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor, your boy Finn Balor, go 1-on-1 again for the Intercontinental Championship. Lio Rush will be involved in some capacity. I put in my notes, quotation marks, Demon, question mark. If we get the Demon, number one, it's too easy to predict. It's also my favorite thing ever when the Demon comes out. We've gotten no hint of it, which normally we get a hint of it. Now there is a Raw to go, so Lashley and Lio Rush could like beat down Finn Balor and, force him to become the Demon.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't even need a reason. You could just be like, just come out as the Demon.
I kind of liked like how they did it in New Japan when he first started doing the face paint. Was just it's a big show. I'm going to do something cool.
Yeah.
And that was all he needed.
It helps him tap into that next level when the stage is its largest, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what they should use it as instead of him like, WWE just tries to mess things. Yeah. Simple things are like, it can't be this simple. Let's try to complicate it to the X degree. And now we effed it up.
Yeah. And just like the crowd reaction now whenever, and here's the thing with this, with the possibility of the Demon is what time, I know they're in New York, so it's East Coast and everything. So we might not have as many problems of it. That has to be in the dark.
In the dark, right?
So
they could do that in between matches, though. Because I see some of the matches we're going to be talking about later going on much earlier. I just wrote them in the list of I just wrote them in a random list because we don't know the order. Obviously, Vince McMahon's crazily with a whiteboard. Yeah, still making that up until literally the night of it happens, and then changes things. Still, Finn.
Yeah, I think Finn. I think Finn has to retain.
Talking about getting moments, getting WrestleMania moments.
Yeah,
Finn's been hosed on more WrestleManias than I can count. Like just even being there, being healthy.
Yeah, I think in my predictions, I just said Finn Balor, go Ireland.
Yeah, your boy Finn Balor.
Yep.
I love it. IC title one more time. Hopefully we see the Demon. Yeah. Now we get into what people would say is the meat of the card.
Yeah, the business about to pick up.
The meaty part. I skipped something. Triple H versus Batista in a no holds barred. And just to put the cherry on top, it's also Triple H's career on the line. If Triple H loses, he must retire from in-ring wrestling. And it's no holds barred, and it's versus Batista. And I don't know what to expect from this match.
I don't either. And I wish they wouldn't have put the Triple H's career on the line.
Yeah, that kind of makes it like, whoa, I wonder who's gonna win.
Yeah, because either you have Batista win, and then I'll be generous and say a year Triple H goes back on that stipulation because he's there. He's always the desperation. Oh no, we can use Triple H.
Triple H beat Sting a few WrestleManias ago when Sting literally should have won that match over anything because Vince just hates good. Yeah. So Triple H is winning this match.
Yeah.
There's
Triple H is winning.
No way he's going to take an L to Batista, which makes no sense. But at least it's against Batista, and it doesn't matter for Batista. I just hope it's good.
Yeah.
I want it to also be short. I would love to see some color.
It would be less than 10 minute just crazy brawl would be awesome.
And if they could get away with a little color.
Yep.
If any two can get away with it, it's these two first off. Hunter because of his position and Batista because of the bank account he rolls with.
Yeah.
They could, I could see Vince being like, yeah, little color boys, old school.
Yeah.
Because the next match, you definitely won't see any color, but it's going to be a much better wrestled match. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. This is going to be a clinic. If they give them time, it's all going to come down to time in some of these final matches. AJ Styles, Randy Orton could be your sneaky match of that could steal the show.
Yeah. Well, because the thing people have said for years at this point is when Randy Orton is not motivated, he is kind of boring. But the problem is when he's motivated, he's one of the best wrestlers on the planet.
Oh yeah, when he wants to go,
it's just that motivation thing. But
he is the Randy Moss of WWE.
Yep. But here's the thing, you have AJ Styles against him. So if anyone is going to bring that out of him, it would be AJ Styles. Yes, the only problem is they've already done the RKO out of the forearm thing, which like would be a cool spot, but now it's like, okay, how do you top that?
RKO out of a Styles clash. It's not even possible.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think that's possible. Because that was like,
if anyone can figure out how to do it, RKO out of a Styles clash from the second rope.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking maybe off the 450, which would be really cool, but really awful to time. But then again, I mean, Orton has that amazing RKO out of the Evan Bourne shooting star press, which was just beautiful.
This is going to be one of the best wrestled matches, because you're right, Randy Orton's going to like give it his all, and AJ Styles always gives it his all, which will just lead to a phenomenal ending when AJ Styles wins. See what I did there?
Yeah.
See what I did there? You got the same? Taking AJ?
I'm taking AJ.
Yeah, AJ's got it. Randy doesn't need it. AJ's the man. He just signed a new 5-year contract or something like that. He's gonna be around for a while.
He's finishing his career with WWE.
I like that. He wasn't a WWE guy, but he got there and they treated him right.
Yep.
I think
has he? Oh no, he lost to Jericho.
Yeah, he lost to Jericho in his first WrestleMania.
I was gonna say, like, has he like lost at Mania? But then I remember he lost to Jericho.
All right, so next up, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. You're right. The opponent shouldn't have been switched.
Why?
Because Roman can't lose. This is like he's coming back from beating leukemia, people.
Yeah, that's the problem.
He's not going to take an L.
Yeah, and well, like the biggest problem is who I have like winning the Universal title. It doesn't. Like, it would make more sense for Drew McIntyre to win.
Yeah.
But it's like, Roman Reigns is not losing this match.
Not even close. Not even close. And Drew, but that's why they've been letting Drew beat up people and get W's, because he got a W against Seth on TV. He's been beating the crap out of Dean Ambrose on TV.
Yeah.
Do you think the Dean Ambrose thing's a work or a shoot?
I think it's a shoot. I think he's actually.
You think he's really gone?
I think he's really gone, and he just was.
Is he going to go
man enough?
Is he going to go somewhere else, or is he just going to be done for a little while?
I don't know. He's a weird dude.
His wife still works there. I know. It's tough.
I think that's why he is very much like being cool with and giving his notice, and
they haven't come out though and been
stuff.
Like, so and so's leaving, last time ever. So and so's leaving. Yeah. They make it feel real worky. I'm just saying.
It's true, but like I think. Yeah, maybe like, because I don't know exactly when his contract's up.
After Mania.
Yeah, it's after Mania, but it's like, do you write him off then the Raw after? Or
I read reports he was off TV, and then Monday night he was in a, what was that? Was it Falls Count Anywhere? Or it was Last Man Standing.
Yeah.
He was in a Last Man Standing match against Drew on Monday Night Raw, and I think earlier that day already, you won't see him on TV. He's already done. So
yeah.
You can't, who knows?
Who knows?
That's for Meltzers and, people who are way above our pay grade. To know.
Like, all I know is he's an interesting character for sure, like on and off screen. And
he's a weird dude.
Yep. And because like I know a bunch of people who know him, and have worked shows with him and stuff.
Roman's beating Drew, which he shouldn't, because he should beat Baron Corbin, and Drew McIntyre should beat and retire Kurt Angle, and that would just be perfect. Why do you not do this, WWE? See, because it's too easy, and they're like, we're gonna outthink ourselves because we're smarter than the Smarks, right? But you're not. Just give the Smarks what they want sometimes. Yeah. Not all the time. Sometimes you have to not give them what they want, just purposefully. But like sometimes, if it's served up on a silver platter, just, eat it.
Yeah.
So speaking of, now the last 3 matches, here are your 3 championship matches. Damon Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston, which is officially announced, I think.
Finally, it is officially announced as of SmackDown, which I actually like how they did it.
The gauntlet that Xavier and Big E had to be the ones to get Kofi in.
Yeah, because like that at least it's good in twofold, and I hope the second half doesn't happen. But it's like it makes and it shows how strong of a unit that New Day is.
Yeah,
but also, if they ever want to go this way, you can have Xavier and Big E.
If someone architects it,
like lord over or Kofi, it's like, no, we're the ones who got you in this.
Yeah, that would be weird to see. Not just so one person turn, to see like those two turn on him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a twist.
Yeah, like ideally, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I don't know
because I love the New Day. They've gotten a little like
so much.
I was gonna say they got a little stale, but now like
they did get
like,
stale.
They got stale, but now it's like back.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, oh no, New Day's awesome.
Well, and that merch machine, they don't want to mess that up.
Nope,
man, those merch checks are nice. They don't. Let's just keep that going. So this is what I'm gonna say. You can't have 3 happy moments. You're not okay. Don't lie to yourself.
Yeah.
Vince will not do it to you. He doesn't give a crap about your feelings. He will not give you 3 feel good moments. Okay,
it's true.
So you're gonna be disappointed at one turn. I think this is it. I think Kofi doesn't. I think we go all the way here and Kofi doesn't get it. I think Daniel Bryan, and this is because we never really got the Miz Bryan culmination.
Oh, okay.
It was moving towards that.
Yes.
But then they diverted and they sent Daniel on this whole become a heel.
Yeah.
And they sent Miz on this, let's make Miz the ultimate good guy by having Shane turn on him, right?
Yeah, so then you can.
So at some point, these trains are coming back towards each other.
Yeah, and have it be kind of the Warrior Hogan in WCW, which was
your summer to
Hogan,
your to SummerSlam. That'll carry you to SummerSlam.
Yeah, I can see that.
You could have the blow off Miz Bryan at SummerSlam for the championship belt, right?
Yeah, I can see that.
Miz has to win Money in the Bank. But you know what I mean. Like Miz somehow gets his way there, right? That's the one I see because the other two I just don't see a way.
I don't see a way around.
A corner,
yeah.
In both these last 2 matches that you can't really get out of.
Yeah.
I mean, you can,
but it would be really.
But it'll be super dissatisfying and piss a lot of people off. One more than others, I think. Okay. So what do you think, Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston?
My heart is saying I want Kofi to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bryan wins either. So. I mean, my official prediction is going to be Kofi, though.
Kofi, all right.
Yep.
I like it. Have you liked the build, or do you think they over-muddled it a little bit?
They over-muddled it a lot. Like, I wish it would have been a little more simple. But I mean, this is what we've got, and especially for like the more casual fans who just tune in to WrestleMania itself. And see like that recap video of like, no, here's Kofi's struggles,
how he got here,
and it's like you've seen him for a decade,
11 years, they keep saying.
Yeah, like so. I think that video package before the match will show a lot.
Yeah.
But then being the ones who like sat through this build, it's just like, okay. You could have done this so much better. I mean, much like the main event, we'll
get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, but it's like you could have done this much better. But this is what we got now, and it's gonna be good. And this is gonna be a fantastic match.
Now the payoff has to be there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because if the payoff's right, it won't matter about the builds, and that's I think what we'll get to at the end when we do some final thoughts. But. Next up, Universal title match, Brock Lesnar, the champ, Seth Rollins, the challenger. You have to put it on Seth Rollins?
I think you have to.
I mean,
or unless
Brock's people are so over it and people are so tired of that belt not being around. That belt means nothing.
Yeah.
That belt has no meaning. It honestly, this they kept saying, will it be Brock Lesnar or Ronda Rousey? Who's going to headline? I don't think Brock Lesnar should have ever been in the discussion. This feud's been boring.
No, yeah.
The best part about this feud has been Heyman and Rollins in actually using logic.
Yeah.
Like, Lesnar's had problems with smaller guys. Yeah, but he's had more time to prepare for you than he had those other smaller guys.
Yep.
Like, that part, like, the logic part of this feud has been the best part of it.
Yeah, I love that promo of, like, hey, you had problems with AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan and Finn Balor. It's like, yeah, I had a week notice, 8 days notice, 2 weeks notice.
Right.
Like, oh, I've had 3 months for you. It's like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. But, and that's the thing is, like, so you give it to Seth, which I think is the right move. And then it opens up, you know, whatever you want to do after that. Because Raw after Mania is going to be nuts. Because I have no idea where they're taking some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it will be determined, I think, by the outcomes of some of these matches. You'll kind of have an idea. But yeah, I think Seth. I think you just have to at this point. You could do Brock. You could let Brock win it and just keep it. But that would show that you really don't care about the belt. And if you don't have an idea to do something that I think they're doing with all their belts. And I'm going to get into that in my final thoughts.
That's like, I think that's also why I'm predicting Kofi.
Kofi?
Yeah.
Well, because see, that's part of the reason I'm going with Brian, though, too, is if they do want to. Okay, so we'll get there in final thoughts.
Yep.
So it's main event time.
And one more thing, this would technically be the second time Seth Rollins takes a title off Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yep. The first one was my best prediction I ever made.
Yeah.
The cash-in. I
predicted
that.
it?
Oh
Nice.
yeah, I got the video. I predicted the cash-in. That was my greatest prognostication ever. And I don't have a really good one for this Mania because there's really nothing to prognosticate.
Yeah.
The winners, but we're already doing that. Ronda Rousey, the main event, it's the women's title match. For all the titles? Is it for one title? Is it for both? They haven't come out and said. They'll clarify on Monday.
Yeah.
They'll clarify this week. But Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch. Ronda Rousey's the Raw champ. Becky Lynch is just the man. And then Charlotte Flair, who won the SmackDown championship off of Asuka this past Tuesday, which was just out of left field. But this is what I think they want to do. I think you're starting to see the beginnings of them dissolving the brand split to a certain extent.
I can see that.
Because they want to have everybody on SmackDown and everybody on Raw, because SmackDown's going to be on Fox.
Yep.
They don't want to have 7 different belts going. So I think this is the beginning of them doing some consolidation, right?
Yep. Yeah, I
can
can see that.
They were like, you know what? How can we take this main event up a notch? It's already for the Raw women's belt. What if we made it for both belts? What if we made it a unifying, one woman takes all match? How do we do that? Do we put Asuka in there? No, people aren't familiar enough with her. They've already been working this as a triple threat.
Yeah.
We're just going to take it off her on the SmackDown. And now Charlotte holds it. So now it's winner takes all. So that's why I said earlier, if you have Seth win and Daniel win, then you can have them kind of go at a unification thing. And then if you want the Revival and the Usos, they could be a unification. If that ends up being on the pre-show, if they end up doing like Usos versus or somehow, then I'm guaranteeing dissolve of the brand split. We're going to get unified belts for everything. Unified women's tag team for both brands, unified men's, IC, US, unified championship belt, men's and women's.
Okay.
That gives you 6 total belts.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And then the cruiserweight title could
and the cruiserweight
could mean more because it could actually get featured more because you don't have all these other belts.
You don't have 2 separate tag belts, 2 separate championship belts for men and women. Yeah. So I could totally see that happening. They have screwed this build beyond.
They've screwed this build
beyond. They could have made it so simple. Becky jumped in the Royal Rumble without being in it and won it. Charlotte was the actual last official entrant who was still in the ring. That's the crutch she should have leaned on for why she should be in the match. They didn't need the injury stuff, the Ronda stuff. They didn't need any of that.
Or they could have, they didn't even need to do that with the Rumble. They could have just had Becky straight up be in the Rumble.
Yeah.
And then have Charlotte take on Asuka at the Rumble and beat her at the Rumble. And then Becky wins the Rumble and says, I want both of you.
We're assuming they have that much foresight, though.
I know,
what I mean?
That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that is definitely the problem. Because this is all... WWE's reactionary, like most companies. They react quicker than they are They're not proactive, they're reactive.
Yeah, because I weirdly enough, from the rumors that I heard, Becky's the one who got shoehorned into this.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Because they're just like, they weren't ready for the man to just be so popular.
Yep.
And then turning Ronda Rousey heel, I don't think you needed to do that in the lead up. I think it would have been much more effective if you would have had her turn be really that match.
Okay.
And then, because you could have tried to work a double turn like an Austin Hart 13. They definitely wouldn't have pulled it off, and it wouldn't be as effective. But they could have, done that. Just keep Charlotte heel, have Becky become full, face.
Yeah.
Have Ronda go heel, and then Ronda leaves the night after, all like storms out like a heel would.
Yep.
And it's like I said, if it's that easy though, the WWE is going to find some way to F it up. They're going to, and they did. But regardless, the payoff should make this non-consequential, right?
Yes. Yeah. Hopefully it's Becky winning. I actually like Ronda as a heel, but I think that's mostly because I follow MMA enough that I just hate Travis Brown.
Her husband?
Yeah. So it's just like, oh, he's here. Why? I hate that dude.
Do you think Connor is going to come over? He announced his retirement from MMA. Do you think he will move over to WWE?
He announced his retirement from MMA because he wants more money.
He's selling that is it whiskey he sells? The Irish whiskey?
Yeah, I can't remember if it's whiskey or vodka. I can't
It's
remember.
Whiskey. I think it's dark. Yeah, it's whiskey.
That makes sense.
The 12 up or 12 something. 12,
I think, is it 12 rounds? No, that's the...
No.
My buddy Dustin has a bottle of it.
Okay.
So.
But so who do you got? Who do you got Becky winning?
I got Becky winning. Becky has to win this.
That's why if you're going to do Becky and Seth, you can't do Becky, Seth, and Kofi. It's the law of diminishing returns. You know what I mean? Like you can't get that excited that many times.
And then if we have this card,
you need to come down.
Yeah, and then if we have this card even somewhat in order, and like especially the top four, I think are probably going to be the top four, those four.
I think Triple H and Batista are really going to go on that early. You think?
I mean, Triple H and Sting was really early.
That's true. That's true.
But like, if you have like Roman, then Kofi's match, then the Rollins win, then the Becky Lynch win, all in a row, yeah, like you said, that could be diminishing returns.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the logical thing would be to finally put that belt on Becky Lynch.
See,
put both of them on.
Corbin Angle should go somewhere super late in the card. Like
as a
between,
buffer.
Between, let's say, a Kofi and Seth or a Seth and Becky, to have that deflation moment.
Yeah.
To deflate the crowd. If they're coming off a high, then have Corbin beat Angle, and then you can hit him with another high on the next match. You could do that. Now we're getting into like fantasy booking, so we digress. I'm most looking forward to NXT Takeover that weekend out of the three main shows that we're looking at. What are you the most looking forward to?
Takeover just as a solid show, like Takeover is going to be so good. That Friday night,
it's a delicious little package.
Yeah, and I'm hoping like Takeover is going to be super short and quick, because then I can switch over and watch Joey Janela's Spring Break after.
They're 2.5 tight. 5 matches. So like it's going to be, that's my most anticipated part of this, especially the Adam Cole match, the Riddle Velveteen Dream match. Even the Walter Pete Dunn match.
Walter and Pete Dunn, because they've had matches before and they've been good. But like it was actually with like Pete Dunn as the heel.
Yeah.
And it's going to be better.
This is gonna be. Woo, a doozy. Yeah. A doozy. Get ready. Let us know all your predictions in the comments below. If you want to predict one of the matches, all the matches, we love to hear what anybody else out there has to think on this. What are you most excited for? Maybe what's your favorite match of this whole weekend that you're looking forward to?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I definitely think it's that 2 out of 3 falls, the Gargano Cole match. That's probably my most out of all the matches. Although Kazuchika Okada Jay White is up there for me. They had a really good match at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, they had a really good match at Wrestle Kingdom.
So to see that and then that tag team match, the GOD versus the Briscoes versus Villain Enterprises,
so crazy
versus Evil and Sonata.
Yeah,
that's gonna be nuts. That's just some of what I'm looking forward to. AJ Styles, Randy Orton's gonna be crazy. If I'm looking at main roster, God, it's gonna be so much great wrestling next week.
There's gonna be so much fun wrestling. Yeah.
Tell us what you're most excited for. Tell us Kyle, thanks so much, dude. This has been a great time. Like, share, subscribe. Knocked Out Entertainment. You can find them all over Instagram, Facebook.
It's Knocked Out Films on Instagram and
Knocked
Twitter.
Out Films, yep. So check him out.
Entertainment was way too long.
Yeah, it is. You can't do, So Knocked Out Films. Just Knocked Out, and you'll find this guy's awesome work. Check out his book. Title?
It's All Art. I've got only 5 copies left, actually.
So, hey, jump on it. If you're watching this video, jump on it. They are gorgeous books. Thor, Baseball Betting, you know where to find me. You know what to do when you get there. We'll see you next time. Deuces!